Our first question comes from Adam. Good morning, FHB crew. I'm looking at improving the energy efficiency of the HVAC system in my shop. Having listened to you guys about HVAC sizing, I went about doing a manual J using an online calculator, which I'm sure is not perfect, but it's just a shop and better than the rule of thumb sizing. Where I'm getting hung up is based on my calculations. I need a 5400 BTU cooling per hour, or 3100 BTUs of heating per hour. So the heating requirement is about 6 times larger. The math seems to hold up based on my current setup of a 7,500 watt resistance heater, which won't quite keep up on the coldest days. I also have a small window air conditioner, which I'm guessing is around 5,000 BTUs. It keeps the shop really cold, and I use it for humidity control. Anyway, the problem is I need to size a heat pump / Minisplit for the heating load. I'll never get the humidity control I really need when in cooling season because it will be 8 times too large. Is variable refrigerant flow the right solution? Will it be enough of a range to address the varying needs of my cooling and heating loads? Is there another solution for those in my situation? Thank you as always, Adam. He says, I'm in southern Minnesota. The shop is about 20 by 50 with an 8-foot-ish ceiling. So Mike, this is a common problem. What does one do about this?
So there's a few different things you could do. I think with the result that you're getting that 31,000 BTU for heat, which is roughly, so as far as sizing the unit to provide heat, you need to figure out what size. So the unit that you buy isn't going to be 31,000. It's going to be either a 2.5 ton, which is 30,000, or a 3 ton, which is 36,000. Manual K calculations usually end up being a little bit higher than what you really need. And the worst case climate data is usually a little bit conservative. So I'd actually probably lean towards a 2.5 ton, which is just slightly undersized, and it would probably work perfectly. The problem is if you're putting in a mini split or heat pump system, if just as you point out, the indoor unit or the system would be sized for that 2.5 tons. That variable capacity that these systems have a minimum range, a minimum limit where they'll work efficiently. When you're in the area of the country where you are in southern Minnesota, you're going to end up with a big heating demand, but a very small cooling demand in the summer, which is why the Manual J came up with those numbers. I looked at a couple of systems. If you go with a 2.5 ton systems, and the minimum cooling capacity for those, where they'll run continuously at a lower rate, is between 7,500 and 11,000 BTUs, which is certainly almost, in the case of the 11,000, twice as much as what you need. So instead of the air conditioning in the summer operating at its lowest capacity, or it will operate at its lowest capacity, but in order not to overcool it, what it will do is it will cycle. It'll go on and off and on and off, which is bad for the unit. It's bad for its lifespan. It'll wear it out, and it's bad for efficiency, and it's also won't dehumidify very well, and that's one of your intentions. So a couple of options you've got. One is to figure that the system you already have, if you're comfortable with the way it's operating, the heating system, and just boosting that up a little bit, is to get a really small, like a 6,000 or a half ton heat pump system. That way it'll operate that extra little boost that you need on the coldest days. And in the summertime, it would be matched pretty ideally to your cooling load. The other way to do it is, if you're going to replace the entire system, is to get 2 indoor units. So size them maybe 15,000 BTU units on the inside, and or like a 12,000 and 18,000 BTU unit. The nice thing there is you can, in the swing seasons, spring and fall, you can just operate one of those indoor units to provide your heating. And then in the summertime, when it's getting humid out and a little bit hotter and you want that air conditioning, you can operate one indoor unit, which the low end on those is for the minimum capacity is going to be in the 4,000 to 6,000 BTU range on a, say, a 12 or an 18,000, a 12 or 15,000 BTU unit. So that way you would operate just one indoor unit for swing seasons and for cooling, and then you can operate both indoor units for the heating demand in the winter. It'll be a little more expensive than buying one unit, one indoor unit, one outdoor unit sized at the 30,000 BTU. However, that would mean if you did do that, then you'd be way oversized for your cooling in the summer.
Thoughts, Brian?
I was going to talk about this later, but no reason not to mention it now. I have a system very much like Mike just described, and I'm happy with it. And I was talked into it by the HVAC installer who worked on our house because it actually gives us a little bit more heating capacity than we needed in the winter time. But so I have a zoned ductless Minisplit system, one compressor outside, 3 heads inside. I think it's 3 ton, and the heads basically it can power 4 heads. So I guess that makes them capable of about 9,000 BTUs. Anyway, in the wintertime, I run them all at an even temperature. Like I set it set it and forget it, as they say. I set the all 3 at a comfortable temperature. It keeps the house very comfortable. I don't touch it all winter long. And in the summertime, I can use individual heads just to kind of, well, for example, last night, Amy was going to bed. We had a really hot, humid day. As most people probably know, we're having a pretty significant heat wave for this time of the year. And she just wanted to kind of take the edge off when she was going to sleep. She shut the bedroom door, closed up the bedroom windows, turned on just the head in that room for a little while. It cooled it right down. It felt really comfortable. And so I think that, I think even though you lose some efficiency with a system like this, as opposed to like a really dialed in right size 1-to-1 system, the flexibility is it's nice. It gives you allows you to dial in comfort, which is, as important as efficiency when it comes to HVAC, maybe more. This is why we do it.
It's for comfort. It's what people value the most.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not, we don't do it for efficiency. We do it for comfort. So that should come first. And then we do as much as we can to make the system efficient.
This makes enough sense to me, doing what I do, but my gut reaction is like, oh my gosh, this is a shop. We're way overthinking this.
I had that reaction too,
you know
Patrick.
What I'm saying? If the thing stays cool with 5,000 BTUs of cooling with a window air conditioner, use that. And I would also say undersize the system because it's a shop. If it gets below 65 degrees or whatever, it's not a big deal. In a few days, it's going to go up. Or you plug in an electric resistance heater and run it for a few days or hours or whatever, and boost the temperature. Yeah, I think we should go smaller here, not bigger. What do you think, Mike?
So no, I would do the same thing, but if somebody's going to do it, how do they do it? Yeah. So, put in a new system. And a lot of people, if you've got if it is a shop and you're, you want to be comfortable, you're in there a lot and you're earning a lot of money from the shop. If it's a business shop, then by all means, if you want to spend the money, then you can easily drop, $6,000-7,000 on a system to provide heating and cooling efficiently in the space. Or as you said, Patrick, hey, let's do it the inexpensive way, and you get a little extra boost in your heating by a plug-in, quartz heater or something to boost it up to that extra level you need if you keep the existing system.
Adam mentions in a subsequent email that his house already has propane and he doesn't want to deal with propane in the shop, and there are probably good reasons for that. But if you did want to use propane, you can buy a Rinnai heater that has 8,000 or 10,000 BTUs for under $1,000, and they work fantastic. They have modulating burners that are variable capacity, and they direct vent, so you don't have the combustion byproducts of an unvented propane appliance. So I don't know. I think there's a lot to like about them. Of course, there are drawbacks to propane, both environmentally and it's an expensive fuel. $4 a gallon this winter for me.
I heat my garage/shop with a small wood stove, and I usually burning scraps. All the scrap lumber I've accumulated throughout the summertime, I just toss them in, and it takes the chill out.
There's a lot to like about that too, right, Mike? The satisfaction of cleaning up the place and heating your space at the same time.